Muchísimas gracias a todos los agentes que hoy día se han unido a nuestra sesión. Es una sesión muy interesante y damos la bienvenida a nuestro portafolio a CCT College Dublin, ubicado en lo que es en Irlanda, una nueva opción para los agentes, una nueva opción para los estudiantes, y hoy día vamos a tener justamente la presentación y ver todo lo que son aplicaciones, procesos, cursos y todos los highlights de lo que es este college, que la verdad es que es una muy buena opción para todos los estudiantes. Por favor, también a nuestros agentes, para todo lo que es preguntas, todo lo que lo podemos ver al último, en lo que es la sesión cuando ya termine. Vamos entonces a presentar a Rashi y a Sagar, que son representantes del producto de CCT College Dublin en lo que es Irlanda. Entonces, thank you, Rashi, thank you, Sagar, to being here today with us and with our agents of Latam. Please, you can take it from here, Rashi, for the presentation of the CCT College Dublin.
Thank you, Diana.
On the panel about CCT. Am I audible?
Oh, okay. Rashi, we are having some problems, I think, with, with the connection.
Rashi, I think there's some connection problem. You can just recheck it again.
Démosles unos minutos, por favor, porque están teniendo algunos problemas de conexión. Bueno, siempre estos problemas del internet. Gracias por la comprensión. Rashi? Rashi, no, we cannot hear you. We cannot understand you.
Yeah, Sagar, you'll have to help me here. Am I audible?
Yes, Rashi, you're audible, but your voice is cracking. Just give me like 5 minutes to just recheck again. You just recheck again, Rashi. Diana, she's just rechecking it again. Just give us 5 minutes.
Sure, no problem. Por favor, como les estábamos indicando, tenemos algunos problemas de conexión. Si nos podrían esperar, les agradeceríamos unos en lo que tome el tiempo de poderse volver a conectar para lo que es para hacer la presentación, por favor, para Rashi. Mientras tanto, como saben, todas las preguntas que tengan las vemos al final. No sé si han podido revisar sobre el CCT College Dublin también, que es pionero en todo lo que es cómputo, todo lo que es negocios, todo lo que es IT. Entonces, la verdad, pueden, también después de esta presentación, les vamos a mandar el PPT también y material para que ustedes también lo puedan tener en la oficina. Rashi?
Yes, Diana, hi. Everybody can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Great. So apologies for this inconvenience. I think the network has its own way around things. I would do a quick introduction. My name is Rashi, and I am the senior manager heading the Europe universities at M Square Media. And I have the vertical head, Sagar Sabharwal, who's joined us today. We will be taking you through the details for CCT and helping you understand all about CCT, its courses, and the relevance for helping you help students in the progression of they going to Ireland for their higher studies. So I am going to quickly share my screen. And before I begin, there is a quick video to help us understand what we're talking about. So please sit back and see what will we be talking about through my presentation. A small glimpse in the video here.
Long before anyone can remember, there was a small island on the edge of the world, the last stop before the new world. And its people traveled the world, taking their place in the memory of the world. And the years passed and the world changed, and that island on the edge of the world found itself in the center of the world, connecting the world, making the world smaller by thinking big, dreaming dreams the world could share, sharing with the world our own very special part of the world. And what have we discovered on this little island in the middle of the world? We've discovered the world likes the way we do things, and there's nothing in this world we can't achieve. Ireland, ready for the world.
Yes, so this is what we're talking about. This is a small country, Ireland, which houses CCT Dublin, and I'm going to run you through the details for Ireland. Now, this is a small country, as the video suggests, it's ready for the world, which means this little country right to exactly to the left of UK is a very small country, but it has a humongous, a widespread, a very big impact on the whole world. And why do we say that? Because it is this small place, Ireland, which houses the European headquarters of all the IT giants like Google, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, PayPal, eBay, and talk about more. This small little country is the largest exporter of computer services in the world and has built its repute by all of the IT service exports that contributes to its major GDP of Ireland. Now, this houses most of the leading companies, not just in the IT sector, but also houses some of the leading names in the pharma companies as well. It is the European data center for many IT universities, for many IT organizations, and hence this is the Silicon Valley of the world. And here in this small Silicon Valley, in the capital city of Dublin is housed the CCT College Dublin that I will be briefing you about. Dublin is the capital and the largest city of Ireland. It is a contemporary and historical center for education, arts, administration, and the IT industry. In 2018, it has been listed as the most safe and friendly country globally. Now, this is important to state because most of the parents are really concerned about the health and safety of its students. As far as the COVID is concerned, this country is safe and it's keeping its students' health as a priority, even before studies. So therefore, parents are confident of the fact that they're sending their students to a safe and friendly environment. And this is an English-speaking country in the Eurozone. So I feel language should not be a barrier as students from America would go and study in Dublin. To our amazement also, we would be very happy to know that Dublin is actually amongst the top 30 cities in the world. So we know we are going to a place which is globally safe and secure and nation globally. There is a small proverb which goes around the world which says that even the police in Ireland don't carry guns. So that is the kind of safety. And here in Dublin, we have the CCT College, which is Ireland's leading. Okay. Restating that, here in Dublin, we have the CCT College Dublin, which is Ireland's leading professional and higher education institute, providing degree programs at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels in areas of computing, data analytics, and business. All of the programs have enjoy the highest European accreditations. They're all validated by the QQI, which is the Quality and Qualifications Ireland, which is international validation, the top highest European accreditations which a university can have are based on the national framework of education and approved by the national students. So as mediators to students who enable students, I think we all should be very confident because of the internationally validated, highest accredited programs offered here. And a simple validation of this fact is that this college invites students from more than 47 to 50 countries across the globe. 70% of the population that studies at CCT Dublin are students who are from non-EU background, which means that post their studies, their degrees, their qualifications, their education excellence is validated and recognized by countries across the globe. I think that is exactly what we're looking at post our studies. If a career, job opportunity, employment, or starting a business is concerned, there is complete validation at CCT Dublin because this is a country which has a skill gap. So which means CCT Dublin invites students from international countries to come over and study here, and post gaining of knowledge, these very students from international countries are filling the skill gap by getting employed in the top companies that are housed in Dublin. With all of these top features and exciting lucrative opportunities, I will now transit to explaining the programs that are available for students across the globe. It is relatively very simple to understand CCT Dublin. In all, there are 7 programs being offered at CCT. So I'm going to repeat that. There are 7 programs available, 2 at the bachelor's level, 3 higher diploma programs, and 2 master's programs. To help you understand each of these levels in detail, let me start off with the bachelor's courses. Now, at the bachelor's level, there are 2 programs. There is a bachelor program in computing and IT, which is, of course, the speciality and the highlight of Ireland as a country, Dublin as the largest state, and a place which houses the IT organizations. Now, these are 3 and 4 years in duration, respectively, with a stay-back option of 1 year. The fees, I'd like you to note, is 8,500 euros for the first year. However, it transits to 4,500 from the second year onwards. There are 2 intakes, September and February. The minimum academic requirements is a 60% in their previous school of study and an IELTS of 6 or the corresponding B2 level certificates as mentioned here in the slide. Also, another point to note is that most of the mature profile students who have been well read in economics, maths, and have a little bit of experience are strong candidates who can apply for the bachelor's programs at CCT Ireland. So this talks about the bachelor's courses, and then the students transcend for the master's program, or they have an option to work by being in Ireland. Going forth, these are the higher diploma programs. The higher diploma programs are the prospective students can study higher diploma in software development, data analytics, artificial intelligence, and computing. So these are short-term programs, so they're only 1 year in duration. And the highlight is that the student can stay back for 1 year. So like this, when we're explaining to the students, when the student stays 1 year, he can actually enjoy staying back for 1 year and explore work rights, thereby gaining a substantial amount to cover the expenses incurred during his study. Also, which brings me to the point that during studies, students have the opportunity to work for 20 hours at the bachelor level courses and 40 hours at the master's level courses, which of course helps the student cover up the living costs substantially. The intakes are the same, September and February, with the whole fee of around about 8,990 euros. The academic requisites being 60% in the previous school of study and an IELTS of 6. For the higher diploma courses, CCT is looking at candidates who have anywhere between 2 to 3 years of work experience. They will find themselves more suitable, and students would be able to draw the maximum with 2 to 3 years of work experience in hand. So this takes me to the last bit, which is the master's programs. The master's programs are 15 months in duration, with the catch of being able to stay back and work in Ireland for 2 years. Once the student gets a permanent job within the 2 years stay back option, the employer and the employee can work out and apply for a visa extension, a visa work permit, or a stay back option in a contract between the employee and the employer. The intakes are the same. There is September and there is February. We are already accepting applications for the September intake. The September intake has been recognized to be a face-to-face classes in Ireland, since it's become quite safe and most of the residents have already gone through their COVID vaccines. The applications for February intake have also started in. So depending on how soon the student wants to sign up for a program, please feel free to put in your applications for either the September 21 or the February 22 intake. The course fee for the master's program is 13,500 euros. And there are scholarships available at the master's program depending on a student's profile, which will be sent to the university for evaluation, post which approximately 11,000 euros for the whole 15 months during of the program. So having said that, the requisites are 60% school of study, and please note the IELTS requirement 0.5 at the program. So just since this is college, I would like to and programs, 3 higher diploma, artificial intelligence,
Rashi, we cannot hear you very well. I think that you are having again these problems with the connection. Por favor, démosles un minuto para que se vuelva a reconectar. El internet está teniendo muchos problemas. Mil disculpas por este inconveniente.
Okay.
Rashi, can you hear me?
Rashi?
Okay. Hi, guys.
No, you...
Dana, just give us like 2 minutes. She's joining back.
Okay, sure.
Okay, just a quick check. Can you all hear me clearly now?
Yes, we can hear you now,
Great.
Rashid.
Thank you so much for this. And I apologize for the technical errors. Okay, so I was just reiterating
No
the
problem.
programs offered at CCT, the bachelor level programs, the higher diploma, and the master's programs. Okay, so now is the time when we come to assess the application procedure at CCT, which is very simple. It is going to be easy for all of us to understand. The first important highlight is there is no application fee for CCT applications. So which means it gives us the whole platform to play around and for different kinds of applications to come over to CCT for assessment and be considered. Once the applications are submitted to CCT, an offer letter is issued to the student within 48 hours, which could be conditional or unconditional, and we work to satisfy whatever is pending and is asked for by the university. The LOA has to be signed and given back to the university, post which the student will be eligible to pay the tuition fee. We collect the TT copy from the student and submit it to CCT College. Within 28 days, CCT is going to issue the confirmation of enrollment and the fees receipt. Once the student receives this, he can file his visa. Now, as for visa, I'd like to make it clear that the students from Mexico do not require a visa before arrival. They can reach Ireland first and then file for their study permits. For the rest of the students, the visas will be filed at the VFS. The forms will be filled up on the portal and verified to be able to get the visa sanctioned. Apart from the visas, Ireland calls for 10,000 euros annual living expenditure to be able to live, travel, and enjoy recreation in Ireland. So 10,000 euros is the additional money apart from the tuition fee that a student is supposed to have to be able to live comfortably and study during the course of his stay. So yes, this completes a brief about CCT. Before I close, what is the journey that the student goes through post his studies is what I'd like to depict here in this presentation. And then I'd like to open the floor for all questions that you must have posted. Please look at the video. Great. So this is a brief about CCT. I hope we are able to put out the courses clearly and the eligibility and requisites.
Thank you very much, Rashi. Yeah, we have, yes, some questions. Let me read that. We have a question from Laura. She asked, until when you will receive the Duolingo test?
So the student will be filing his Duolingo tests. And I think Duolingo scores come within 3 weeks of the student sitting down for the exams. So it is then that, the student can apply to a particular course with the Duolingo score that he has.
Yeah, okay, but I think that she means that until when CCT College Dublin will receive the Duolingo test, or the Duolingo test will be accepted. Until when? Until 2022, or it's gonna be just until
Okay,
this
fair.
year.
I understand this. Yeah, Diana, so there is no particular date as to till when will the university accept it. As of now, for the September intake, for the incoming February 2022 intake, we are definitely accepting the Duolingo. So we hear nothing from the university about cancellation of the Duolingo scores yet.
Okay, okay.
And we're
Thank
looking
you.
at Duolingo scores of anywhere between 95 to 105 for different programs, starting from the graduate, higher diploma to the master's programs.
And also, Rashi, you can mention something about if you have ESL pathways programs, or for example, for that students that doesn't meet the English requirement, do the CCT offer that for our students, or you don't have this program? Rashi?
Okay, so Diana, if I understand the question correctly, let me reiterate. We are looking at pathway programs in English at CCT, which can help students come up to the English language and then progress to the main courses. Is that the question?
Yeah. If you can offer some, program for the English requirement.
Correct. So,
Yes.
So, I mean, I fear saying at CCT Dublin, we would not be able to offer the English programs. But then there are many pathway programs available in Ireland where the student can first do a small 6 months duration English medium program and then transit to the main course at CCT.
Okay. That's good. And another question is, what are the chances of someone becoming a permanent resident after their studies?
Sure, this is a very valid question and I appreciate you asking. I have highlighted the stayback options post the programs at each level. The bachelor's level, the students have a stayback of 1 year and it goes up to 2 years at the master's programs. During these stayback options, the student will have to find a permanent job. Once he finds a permanent job, the stayback options can be increased between a contract, in a contract between the employer and the employee. The student has to stay back in Ireland for 5 years to be able to file his residence in Ireland.
Okay, thank you. We have here another question. Could you please talk a little bit about the visa process?
So the visa process, the visas will be filed at the VFS. To start off, there is a form there is an application form that has to be filled up on the VFS. Post which there is a visa supplementary form which is available on the VFS portal. Once both of these forms are filled up, then we take an appointment at the VFS, wherein we will be transiting through the process of biometrics and a virtual interview with the embassy officials. Post this clearance, the students will be issued a visa. But again, having said this, I'd like to reiterate the students from Mexico would not need a visa. They can get the study rights upon their arrival in Ireland.
Ok. Y también para mencionar que para el caso de México, ellos no necesitan visa, ¿no? Entonces también esto es una gran opción para todos los estudiantes porque no tendrían que pasar por todo este proceso, ¿no? En todos los demás países sí tienen un proceso de aplicación diferente, demora también el tiempo de evaluación, es diferente en cada país, ¿no? Entonces, eso también hay que tenerlo muy presente. Okay, thank you, Rashi. And also, we have here another question about as you know, we have our education until 11th year. Do you accept the 11th year as a requirement, or we have to present the year 12?
Year 12 is important, Diana, as we are filing in applications for CCT. I've reiterated earlier that we're looking at mature profiles for the program. Also, it is important to know that I'm looking at students with work experience. So higher diplomas for students who have anywhere between 2 to 3 years are eligible for the program. So I think the grade 11 plus the graduate will be sufficient enough for students to apply for higher diploma and the postgraduate programs, because these will be the students who have minimum 3 to 5 years of work experience required for higher diploma and the postgraduate programs. Does this answer your question well?
Yes. Yeah. About if the student applied for a bachelor or for a master, yeah, for a bachelor or for the associate degree, it will depend, I think. So yeah, it will be case by case. Okay, and also can you tell about the job opportunities for the students while they are studying in the CCT?
Absolutely. This is a critical. The whole gist of education is to establish ourselves and launch a successful career or being an entrepreneur in this space. The first thing to understand is that these are curriculum intensive, internationally accredited programs. And Ireland per se as a country is a country with a skill gap, which means it invites foreign students from across the globe to come over and study in Ireland and then fill the skill gap by looking at employment opportunities within Ireland first before they transit to their own country. And that is why we have the privileged stay back options for most students. Now, when a student is working in Ireland, the starting figures are approximately 35,000 to 40,000 euros at the starting level annual salary, which definitely increases as the student gains work experience. So this range is something that will be the starting salary and for freshers. This is a substantial amount for students to earn well, build up their career, and move to higher sections in the established IT and pharma companies that Ireland really boosts off. So these are the employment opportunities that we're talking about for students. It helps them get the return on investment as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good opportunities for the students. And also, can you tell us a little more about the scholarships opportunities for the students or any discounts that they can get?
Sure, I think every student would like to, will definitely have this one question for all of us. There are scholarships available at the master's level courses. The scholarships are to the tune of 2,500 euros on the total program fee, and that is dependent on validating each individual student profile. So we'd like to get the documents, evaluate, see how much of scholarship is the student eligible for, and then get back with the offer letter and the scholarship amount to the students. So this is case to case and profile basis.
Okay, understood. And also, and I think that this is my last point, if you can tell us about the families possibilities, because we have students that they have families and they want to travel with them. So can you tell us a little more about that point?
Sure, Diana. As for families going to Ireland, first, the student will have to transit and join as a student at the university, post which the family can join him upon showing the credible and sufficient funds in the spouse or the kids' accounts for them to accompany the student. You're on mute, Diana.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Talking about these problems with the technology. Okay. My last question is from Laura. How long before do you suggest that the student starts the application process?
How long? Sorry, I didn't get that. Please, could you say that again?
How long before do you suggest that the student starts the application process?
Absolutely. Very, very important for us. There are limited seats available at CCT Ireland. If you're intending to go for the September intake, we are closing down the applications in another 10 days from now. So it is critical for us to file the applications immediately to be considered for the September intake. But as for February, the intake has already started. The sooner the better, because there is a whole network of systems and protocols that the student will have to go through. And ideal time is about 4 months before the start of the semester that the student should file his application.
Okay. Thank you, Rashi. I think that we cover most of the questions now. So, well, if the agents have some more questions, please let us know. Por favor, si ustedes tuvieran más preguntas, tanto David y yo estamos más que felices de atender todas estas consultas. Espero que hoy día hayan podido tener una idea muchísimo más clara sobre lo que es CCT College Dublin. La verdad es una muy buena opción en lo que es Irlanda para los estudiantes, oportunidades como han podido ver en lo que es oportunidades de trabajo, oportunidades de precios accesibles, oportunidades de diferentes cursos, diferentes duraciones, oportunidades también para estudiantes que tengan familias. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo a todos nuestros agentes y nos vemos en nuestra próxima sesión. Thank you, Rashi, for your time, for your presentations. Thank you, Sagar, and see you soon. Thank you for everything today.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
Diana.
Have
Thank
a
you,
lovely day
Rashi.
ahead, all of you.
Have a
Thanks.
day.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Have a good
Bye.
evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hasta luego.